Bethesda is dead. There is no coming back from this. And what's even worse, I have done a little bit of thinking. What are Bethesda's options for the future? And I see only one thing that they can do. And that is gonna be the worst thing by far. It's something that no one has spoken about. That's something that I haven't even spoken about previously. But honestly, as a company, I see that Bethesda only has one option left to move forward. Because they have destroyed everything. And the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition was just the final straw that broke the camel's back, okay? Starfield already did completely irreversible damage to the brand, to the company, to everything. But now the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition just completely has destroyed it. Even the shills, even the people who were so happy to lick Bethesda's boots for literally years, are now all just throwing in the towel and betraying Bethesda and calling it out for being a bad company. I mean, look at it. Mr. Matty Plays, Luke Steffens, and now Juicehead is they're just giving up. There is no way you can defend Bethesda at this point. Even your most arduous defenders are absolutely done with you. I think the only people left are like Skill Up and Fixed Life, maybe that are gonna say something good about Bethesda, even though that's rare even nowadays. But boys, it's over for Bethesda because you know what they're gonna do? I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. All the previous fans have abandoned them. Todd Howard is a meme and not in a good way. No one expects them to succeed with Fallout 5. No one expects them to succeed with the Elder Scrolls 6. The Elder Scrolls Online has been absolutely ravaged and destroyed, and now the Daedra and Aedra are literally gay and trans. Not even joking. Above all the other problems, there's no future. There's no future for Bethesda, and the fans are not gonna forget. Seriously, who of you is gonna forgive Bethesda for the transgressions that they have? Even if they actually release a good game, I mean, will you support them? Probably not. Even if they give you a trailer for any of these games and it looks not bad, people are still not gonna buy it now. It's that bad of a situation. I mean, you can't fail this many times in a row and have no consequences. And Bethesda knows that to a degree, I think. I think Bethesda understands it. And they know that they have lost the old fans, the people who made them rich in the first place. So now they have to do this sneaky little thing that's called the modern audience. Yes. Bethesda, I think, is gonna very actively now try and switch to a different audience. Because what else are they supposed to do? The old audience hates them, constantly calls them out, and makes fun of them at this point. The Bethesda defenders are nowhere to be seen because all of them have left because it's just too tiresome. Now the only thing that they can hope to do is maybe get new people in with, the Fallout TV series or something like that. Bethesda is probably gonna switch everything. Because they know that they're gonna get some money at least out of the old fans when their new games drop. But that's gonna dry up. And if the old fans stay, the negativity is gonna be the only thing that's left surrounding Bethesda. So, finding new people when your game's average review score on Steam is below 80 for a AAA development game is gonna be really hard. But typical Bethesda games now are at 60% positive review score on Steam. So, absolutely no chances to ever sell any copies to any normies. So, there we go. Bethesda is gonna at some point start trying to find ways to aggressively create a new audience. Go for it, okay? And I don't know which form this is gonna take, how it's gonna happen. But Bethesda is 100%, in my opinion, gonna betray the old fan base and try and find something new, someone new. Because they don't have any other option. There is nothing that they can do.
So I gotta be honest with you all, as I sat down to make this video, I intended to keep things pretty professional, really just being an objective look at everything new that was added in Fallout 4's Anniversary Edition. Anniversary Edition has been super confusing. It includes all of the old Creation Club stuff
That's nothing confusing at all. It's a blatant cash grab.
Released before 2019, but then also 9 totally new things that just came out this week. And I wanted to talk about these 9 new things, except over the course of testing these 9 items, I slowly start to lose it. Because yeah, some of this stuff is just really rough and very clearly not fully tested. So for that reason, perhaps this video is best experienced in its true form, as I gradually and chronologically get more frustrated with Fallout 4's Anniversary Edition. Which even right off the bat, if you're somebody who actually supported all of this stuff, you're buying all of those paid mods back in 2019 like I mostly was to make videos, you kind of get screwed here. I either have to buy this $20 bundle, even though I own most of the stuff in it and I don't get a new discount, or
oh right, Bethesda can double dip on the fans. Right.
individually buy all the items, which add up to more than $20. So hey, like the video if you can. One of the more unique new weapons is the Ion Gun. In-game, this is a prototype by Poseidon Energy, so you have a short quest going through their old files and development of this weapon to unlock it for yourself. It's definitely interesting lore-wise, you'll find out all these details, but the entire quest is just on one of these floors in the Vault-Tec Regional HQ, so it's super simple.
Based, you don't deserve anything more if you're a Fallout fan at this point, that's it. Literally, okay? If you have Fallout installed and you think Bethesda is gonna give you anything worthwhile to give you money for, like get out. Okay? And the modders are not gonna save it also, okay? All the best modders have quit at this point or are basically inactive because it's just too much of a money grab. And the ones that are active literally made Bod's College, which is garbage, not even worth the $5, okay? The people who made Bod's College should pay me, so I just utter its pathetic, useless name. And then they made something for Starfield that people were, oh, this is also the greatest thing ever. This is an excellent... No, it's not. It's garbage. It's literal garbage. Stop believing the lies. All of this stuff is garbage. The Bod's College is stupid, and the Starfield thing is even worse.
You're quite literally just going from room to room, uncovering a bit more info and mostly just raiding terminals. In the end, you're left with one copy of the Ion Gun, which is a special weapon, I guess. It utilizes fusion cores as ammo, including a full 500 shots, like all the other fusion core weapons, but it's a super small pistol and basically recoil-free, which just makes this absolutely hilarious to use. I kept using it throughout the playthrough, and you could sort of just spam headshots on enemies with relative ease. This thing doesn't deal a ton of damage, but the utter lack of recoil and massive magazine does make it a pretty unique energy weapon in Fallout 4. It has some of the typical upgrade paths and quite a few customization options as well, but as a $4 standalone purchase, hell no.
I love how the raid doesn't even come out of the right spot.
I wouldn't even consider buying this one and download something free instead, like the incredibly high quality Zap Gun. Next up is the Cyberdog, a new dog companion that is very closely inspired by Rex from Fallout New Vegas. The dog itself has a quest to get it. One of the broader changes from this update is Bethesda changed the Creation Club quests. You don't just get a giant spam as you load in now, and you actually have to do specific things to start these quests, except for some reason they kept it incredibly vague and hard to trigger. You can find out what you have to do just by looking at your installed content. You can see all the old Creation Club and even this new stuff here. And like for here, it just tells me to go to the Nahant Ocean.
Wait, everything sounds pretty negative so far that he has said. The pistol is not worth it, the dog quest is dumb. That's the reality. Yeah, sure, a lot of modders try and make the best things, but the reality is, like, stuff like this is just not gonna do a good job, probably.
Technological society. I spent ages wandering around this location having no freaking clue how to actually trigger this one. It turns out you have to pick up this holotape and actually read one of the specific entries on it in order to eventually trigger this quest and get the dog for yourself. From there it's pretty simple, but they clearly tried to make this one a bit more interesting. You take this little boat to a totally new world space with a random junkyard on an island. Because yes, Bethesda decided that in order to unlock a cool new Cyberdog companion, you first have to kill a bunch of dogs.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking, wait a minute. That seems a bit, you know?
Dogs. In the end, the Cyberdog is yours with some unique features to control.
Listen, I'm a stealth player. If I did this, I would probably accidentally kill the companion.
This one, you actually plug your Pip-Boy into it, which is, I guess, a nice touch. It's certainly a bit more different than some of the other dogs out there. You can control things like personality, either being passive or aggressive, and other things like the dog's name. And on the aggressive mode, he is seriously aggressive. My Cyberdog would regularly ditch me to chase enemies into some buildings, although typically he would make his way back to me after the fact. But otherwise, this is literally just a new dog companion. Once you complete this quest, you just have a $2 Cyberdog. Alternatively, you could just download Project Cyberdog, which is almost the exact same thing and completely free. The Institute Plasma weapons are a bit more interesting, as I actually really like some of these new weapons. They're from some Institute agents in the field, meant to be prototype plasma weapons made by this faction, and you get 3 of them: a pistol, a rifle, as well as a Gatling option. And in their base versions, these are largely what you would expect, just a plasma version of these Institute weapons. But honestly, thanks to the sounds and some of the customization options, I found myself really enjoying them.
I'm sorry, but I hate weapons that take up 1/4 of the screen. Actually, this is a little bit more than 1/4 even of the screen. Like, Jesus Christ, I hate this so much.
These. The weapons use this mix of laser and plasma sounds in one.
What? The first one kind of rough around the edges, but this one is just ass.
And I think it sounds really great, and that
this
goes with
one's
how
better.
strong many of these are, since they are really using a plasma base, makes them very satisfying to use in Fallout 4. And some of these
Okay,
attachments-
I'm more interested what the hell is happening here with the, clearly ninja robot, okay? What the hell is this?
very satisfying to use in Fallout 4. And some of these attachments can make these weapons quite a bit more unique gameplay-wise and very powerful, especially in the late game, and even sometimes have an Institute take on other weapons in the Fallout universe, which I personally was a big fan of. So overall, I think the weapons themselves are a cool new addition, but there's one big problem. There's no world where this weapon pack is worth $6. It's literally just 3 new weapons. Instead, you could grab the Institute technology overhaul for free.
Boys, I will remind everyone that at one point when the paid creation club shit returned, that people were complaining, oh, this is just a Unity asset flip of it 100 weapons. Suddenly that Unity asset flip seems a little bit better, doesn't it, when you actually look at this? $6 for 3 weapons. Jesus Christ, I guess it is time to learn the code.
Which adds in 30 weapons. And the other big issue here is these new plasma weapons aren't in the level list, they're just for you. The Institute really lacks interesting weapons in Fallout 4, and if these got distributed, it actually would be a lot more appealing. It would make that faction more interesting. Instead, the way you get these is even more confusing than the last. It just mentioned how a new quest starts in the Parkview Apartments, except it's not actually there. That's a lie. Instead, you need to head over to the Parkview Lounge with the super mutants. You can get here from the Parkview Apartments. You basically just go to the roof and then cross this bridge.
I remember
You'll notice
this
a bunch
place.
of super mutants, and then you'll know in the right place, and then just work your way down to this door. As I was making this video, I genuinely thought I would be able to bang it out relatively quickly, and what ended up taking the most time was figuring out how to start these quests. But then the mod to truly break me, we have the Bunker Home Pack, which honestly at first sounded pretty interesting. It adds in 4 new player homes as well as 50 new workshop items, except this one has a ton of problems. The quest itself is fine. You're following in the footsteps of some past residents in these bunker homes, and they all have a unique ideology. So you get to read pages upon pages of their story, and even get some lore around each location. I wouldn't say it's outright.
Oh boy. Not learning, but, well, learning. Yes, learning actually is the word I'm looking for. Learning new ideology from people who make Fallout mods. Man. The vault seems like the perfect fit. I've heard stories of vaults before. They are dangerous. Haunted even, but this one seems to have been made to entice others into jaws that lay elsewhere. We must do the same if we are to survive. as our rations are nearly gone.
Bad, it's just the sheer amount of notes, terminal entries, and holotapes that you're having to consume is overwhelming. It's in that old Creation Club style where everything's just written down. There's no new audio recordings for any of this. But via this quest, you're just given 4 new player homes. You actually get them relatively easy. Each of these has their own theme and they're bunkers of some kind. One is basically a posh smart home, a fully underground smart home with several shops and a plethora of bedrooms, all in a very lush environment and with very lush furnishings. You'll notice those 50 workshop items come in all throughout these new homes to furnish them, and this one even comes with a new golden pistol. Another one is a former Vault-Tec display vault, the vault example they would show to those interested in vaults, this one being located in their Commonwealth HQ and featuring 2 bedrooms.
Wait, so this is technically garbage that already exists in the game, just slightly differently assembled than usually. Nice.
As well as this pool area underneath. You also get a full-on vault door and even this robot, but they don't do anything. You only get to open the door the first time, and you can't close it again, and this robot just wanders about. There is a cave sanctuary meant to be a bit more peaceful and out of the way. It's on the edge of the map and does come with a couple of retro...
Okay, the cave stuff is nice, but the mist is a problem.
Even tested. As you probably noticed, a bunch of these bunkers have really weird visuals. The last one is just completely blown out lighting wise, and the others are incredibly foggy, which just looks kind of bad. I definitely don't want to live here, but even functionally, these don't really work right now. The bunkers are nice in that you could delete almost everything inside of them, basically going in as a blank slate. But I noticed in most of the main areas, like the big open area in each bunker, I couldn't actually place anything down. It was almost like there was no foundation to place things on. Thankfully, things did resume working in the bedrooms. One of the bugs that, in Bethesda's fairness, was likely very easy to miss and probably just slipped through QA was all of the bunker doors are named test cells. Like, yeah, it's probably just an oversight, but if you just play the quest, you
yeah, this is about what you expect from Bethesda. Beautiful.
immediately see this. And the biggest problem of all, and what made it clear this release build wasn't actually tested, you can't fast travel from the bunkers. You can fast travel to the bunkers after you unlock them, but once you're inside, you're not able to fast travel out. Several of these bunkers are literally within other locations, like, you know, the Vault-Tec Regional HQ. So for a bunch of these, if you actually want to leave and go do that next quest, you have to go through several load screens to do that. To escape, you're...
Yes, someone did the Starfield meme and Fallout 4. Beautiful. Now that's what I call dedication. And 750 for this slop? Oh, baby, I love that.
This one. Sea Scavengers is another interesting one. It introduces a new bodysuit armor and one new weapon with the 12.7mm SMG, even featuring custom ammo for it. The new outfits are implemented in a more fun way thanks to these new sea scavenger enemies. You start the quest by interfacing with this note in Oberlin Station, and it'll take you into the glowing sea to take on these new NPCs. And even this note is so freaking easy to miss. It just posted up on a door somewhere. Doesn't tell you it's on that door. So you'll see and get a ton of the outfits this way, basically taking down enemies and then looting their things on them. It's almost like a diver suit of sorts, and there even is one unique variant you get later on. You can add a hood as well as increase some of the stats, but otherwise it's a pretty straightforward piece of armor. And of course, the single suit does cover your entire body. And during the quest, you also get the 12.7mm SMG, a recreation of a New Vegas favorite. This one's pretty simple and has some basic customization, but otherwise is just a basic weapon mod. Although Fallout 4 could always use more SMG, so in that regard, it is kind of nice. Sadly, this one too is just not well implemented. The quest is...
Wait, is it a favorite? I kind of doubt that.
Incredibly confusing. You get a bunch of lore from these sea scavengers, which, yeah, definitely cool, but it's pages upon pages of holotape notes.
Based. People need to learn to fucking read.
For $1.
Oh, the Brahmin armor. Jesus Christ. That already tells you everything. I absolutely love this. Brahmin armor for the win. Okay, no one even dared to say anything bad about that one in the comments.
Clandestine couture. This adding in 5 new railroad outfits for those of you that want some dirty railroad clothes. This is another one where it's just like...
You know what we needed in Fallout 4? We needed an option to actually convince the railroad that synths can be used as free labor. You know? We needed that. I want a mod that actually convinces the railroad that, wait a minute, synths could actually be used for useful things.
why is this a paid mod? The 5 outfits are perfectly fine, just like the Armored Brahmin is perfectly fine. It honestly would be kind of cool as a free mod. Each of these outfits has some kind of weathering or injury on them, but otherwise they're just some general railroad clothes. It's pretty basic overall, and the fact that you're spending real world money to buy a bunch of in-game outfits and all of them come dirty or injured in some way is just kind of funny to me. Oh yeah, and for some reason, 2 of these outfits just can't be placed on mannequins. I have no idea why. This time around, Bethesda actually did tell you where to go to get these, but for whatever reason, it's a really long quest to get these 5 outfits. You're doing a bunch of dead drops with the railroad, and in one regard, I guess it's nice they try to stretch it out a bit, but it's so fetch questy and simple.
You know what I loved about Fallout 4 the first time I played it? It's like, we are the railroad. We are very mysterious. We hide in the plain sight. We have these elaborate dead drops that no one can find. Here's a giant fucking thingamajig that actually... I'm sure this is not going to attract any attention at all. I'm sure the Institute filled with scientists are not... Well, they didn't fucking crack the code, but, you know, the Institute is filled with stupid people. And then I love the system of... by the way, I never literally found a single railroad catch site or cache site or whatever you want to call them. Because I never looked like, why would I? Oh my god, it's so stupid. Hey, we're gonna be sneaky. Just graffiti all over this wall. No one will notice, surely.
Try to stretch it out a bit, but it's so fetch questy and simple with no actual dialogue that it almost felt worse how much content there was before you get the outfits. Repurposed power armor helmets could have been a really cool one. This offers the 4 major power armor helmets as just regular armor pieces with some new designs on them. This is simply added, just go to Daisy's and Good Neighbor and the tribal variants of the helmets will appear from time to time in her inventory. This all being a reference to Fallout 2. You've probably seen this image. It's a tribal from Fallout 2 wearing a broken down power armor helmet. It's been spread all throughout the Fallout communities. Clearly this paid mod is inspired by it, but funny enough, this actually isn't really a thing in Fallout 2. It's not like you could find tribals with this armor. So this is a new option for Fallout 4, and I think that's a pretty cool implementation, kind of throwing back to this. And you may remember all the way back in 2019, I refused to cover these skin drops, and I am still refusing to cover skin drops. We don't need skin microtransactions in my decade-old
Based more microtransactions, Bethesda. Anyway, that was Juicehead. Fallout is cooked, Bethesda is dead. What a time to be alive. Bye!